Is it safe to assume, with both those guys being guards, is it safe to assume? I mean, anything's possible with Leon and those guys, but I mean, is it Kolek that's kind of the front runner to be the odd man out? Is it Dadiet? What do you think?
Odd man out isn't traded.
Yes, if they clear up the two spots to bring in Brogdon and Shamet.
All right, so again, I'm not reporting this, but just for the sake of us freestyling and talk about this
Sure.
because it's fun. The buzz that I'm hearing around the league is Pacome Dadiet and Miles McBride,
Oh
and
my God,
I think
man.
I knew that was going to
Ah,
elicit a reaction. Now, again, like this isn't. I'm not saying it's going to happen. This is just buzz. The league talks, and
yeah.
this 75% of the stuff I hear like this, it just never happens. So I want to preface it with that. But all right, so I think it's easy to get off those guys. I think that's the big thing. You trade Pacome Dadiet, he doesn't have a big contract. They're going to be takers based on his upside. It's kind of, you don't have to really sell that one. It makes a lot of sense to everybody. They're a win now team. Pacome Dadiet is not really ready, but Landry Shamet and Malcolm Brogdon are ready. So that trade makes sense. Now, if you're looking at the McBride thing, here's where kind of you could sell me on it. He he is up for an extension after the season, right? They're up against the second apron. They're paying their starting five a lot of money. They're committed to them beyond a bunch of years. What if they don't want to pay Miles? Miles McBride's going to want money. He's going to understandably want money. He's been
Yeah.
playing on
Yeah.
a bad contract for a while. So let's say they don't want to pay him. He's at his peak value right now. You could obviously get off of him. The guard situation, if you bring in Malcolm Brogdon, you're going to have four ball handlers already. You have Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Jordan Clarkson, and Malcolm Brogdon. How many minutes is Miles McBride going to be able to get? Maybe there's another team out there that values him as a starter. You obviously would be able. He's a very valuable player in the market. You would obviously be able to bring back draft capital. The Knicks have no draft capital right now because they used it all on Mikal and Karl Anthony Towns, so you're able to recoup some of that. So that's really where you can sell it. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but this is just some stuff being thrown out there.
Damn, that's tough. But, one of the topics on this rundown was talking about Deuce, and wanted to talk about your interview with Deuce, because I did wonder, they bring in Brogdon, they have Clarkson here already. Where does Deuce really fit in that rotation? Does Brown go 10 if he's here? And how does that guard rotation work if he's going to go 9?
Yeah, I mean, listen, 10 is tough. Like Steve Kerr tried it, right? 10, I can't, maybe Brown can start that way. It's just tough because you have all what are you going to give 5 minutes to somebody? Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe he can pull it off. But McBride is excited. I mean, in talking to him, he's excited about this new look offense.
Mm-hmm.
And now, to be clear, when we're talking about trades, Miles McBride is a better player than Malcolm Brogdon and Landry Shamet at this point. So he to me, he's the most athletic player on the Knicks. He would thrive in this kind of up-tempo community offense that Mike Brown was talking about. And that was basically the gist of my interview with him was the offense got stagnant in his eyes, toward the end of last season. And he even said in years prior, and Mike Brown came in and they had discussions, and he's talking about movement without the ball and guys getting involved without the ball. And he feels like that's something that he can thrive in. I think so too. So listen, assuming he's on this team, and like I said, I think he's going to, I'm not reporting that they're trying to trade him or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. I think he would be a great fit in Mike Brown's system.
Yeah, I'd like to see it, man. I want to see what this new system, the impact that it has on guys like a McBride, on a Mikal Bridges. Does it turn Cat into, they put the ball more in Cat's hands like they did with Sabonis, and even though Sabonis was a better passer, Cat is a great passer in his own right. So I want to see the impact that offense has, because you're right. Like, when you look at the numbers, yes, you can say last year they had the 5th ranked offense, but it was clear at times that it kind of grinded to a halt, especially in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see if Brown's offense takes them up a notch where Tibbs's couldn't.
And there was one other thing he said in our interview that I thought was interesting. Now, this was a team, in my opinion, and I think people around the league thought they exceeded expectations. People didn't expect them to beat the Boston Celtics. But he said we left a lot on the table.
Yeah.
And that kind of told me these guys are coming in with the idea we're going. Now, he didn't say this explicitly, but if you leaving something on the table and you make game 6 of the conference finals, what you left on the table is getting to the NBA finals. And so I think that is the expectation of this team. I think that's very realistic for this team, considering how you look at the Eastern Conference. And I think that's where the mindset is heading into this season.
Yeah, no question about it, man. Once again, we're talking to Stefan Bondy, Knicks insider for the New York Post. Salute to everybody in the chat. Early edition episode of KFTV Live, breaking down the training camp roster and potential moves to be made to make space for guys like a Malcolm Brogdon or Landry Shamet. So, yeah, that's interesting, man. Even with Pacome, like, I know he's not ready per se right now. I'm just leery of just giving away more talent or more, younger players for guys who are here for a pit stop. Not clear if they're going to make it through a whole 82-game season. You know what I mean? Like, especially Dadiet. Kolek, I can see. I can understand that. But Dadiet, I'd rather keep. I think they need more wings on this team.
Yeah, and listen, it's contradictory with what they were saying when it was like we're going to focus on player development. We hired this guy Billy Lang,
Right.
so you would want to keep and develop a guy like Pacome Dadiet. So I get that line of thinking too. A lot. It's funny. I mean, we're talking about this. These are good problems to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I think we can look at this team with the glass half. We're talking about bringing on the ninth or 10th man and finding a way to get that make that happen. This is the kind of conversations we have when we're talking about a championship contender. So I think that's a good thing. But you're right. I mean, if you're looking at the future, the Knicks don't have many draft picks. We talked about that. Pacome Dadiet is their only first-round draft pick since when? Who was their first-round draft pick before him?
Who's that? Was it Grimes?
That's a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like you want to develop and keep your first round pick. So I get that line of thinking too. They don't have many in the future and they don't have many on the roster.